Seahawks Today coming up in just a few moments from right now, but before we do, we are in the midst of a sub-battle with the Dolphins Today program, and we need your help trying to beat them to 30,000 subscribers. So go ahead and subscribe now if you haven't already. Got a long ways to go. Need your help to get there. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV. That's YouTube.com/Seahawks TV to subscribe now. Welcome in to Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Appreciate you joining us. On today's show, we'll go over the latest Seattle Seahawks news and rumors, those involving DK Metcalf, Jason Myers, and more. And I have been told by producer Jack that I am not allowed today to utter the words, if I say those words aloud, then he will berate me and yell at me and interrupt this entire show. So, if I can go the entire show without saying the words, then go ahead and type that said word that you see on the graphic on the screen below, and we will get going with the rest of today's show. No new updates on that said player that is with the Cleveland Browns today, but when something changes, we'll let you know here on the program. In the meantime, let's talk DK Metcalf. An extension we've been waiting on for several months. Metcalf, of course, did not show up at minicamp. And now another receiver has been paid. That is Terry McLaurin of the Washington Commanders. He is getting a new 3-year, $71 million deal. Now, Seattle will likely pay DK Metcalf $25 million. We'll have more on that in just a second. But here's kind of the breakdown from Ian Rappaport of NFL Network of what this all means for Terry McLaurin. 53 total guaranteed, a $34 million fully guaranteed of signing, and a signing bonus of $28 million, roster bonuses at the start of each league year, and he also has some more opportunities to make money based on Pro Bowl nods as well. So, with that said, another wide receiver getting paid, but not something that necessarily moves the needle affecting DK Metcalf here. And let me explain why. With Metcalf likely still to make $25 million, which will be more than McLaurin, that now leaves Deebo Samuel and DK Metcalf as the only receivers from the 2019 class that have yet to be paid at this point. And also, it's worth noting that both Metcalf and Deebo Samuel have the same agent. So, interesting there. We got some comments to get to from DK Metcalf in just a second, but before we do, want to hear from you guys. Should the Seahawks pay DK Metcalf? I think I have a feeling of the way this is going to go. So we're not even going to give you the option of no. Let me know one way or the other. Type Y for yes, type HY for hell yes, if you think the Seahawks should give that money to DK Metcalf. This is our pinned comment today. And so you're about to get an ad break. While the ad is playing, take advantage of it. Get your votes in. Type Y for yes. Type HY for hell yes if you think the Seahawks should pay DK Metcalf. So the $25 million that Metcalf is expected to get would put him in the same category as A.J. Brown, who received $25 million. Cooper Kupp, who is coming off the best season of his career, including a Super Bowl championship with Los Angeles, got just over $26 million. DeAndre Hopkins making $27. Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill are atop that list, with both of them having to go to other destinations to get that money. $28 from Las Vegas for Adams, $30 million to the Dolphins for Tyreek Hill there. And we heard from ESPN's Jeremy Fowler that when it comes to these extension talks with DK Metcalf, that there's really no bad blood, that the Seahawks are going to try to push this around training camp to get this wrapped up and get a deal done. And DK Metcalf spoke publicly for the first time since missing minicamp. He was at a celebrity softball game in Seattle this week, and he made his intentions clear. Although it wasn't a whole lot of words, nonetheless, it made it seem like that he's excited about the future in Seattle, saying, I know I've only been here 3 years, but y'all are my family now. So there you have it from DK Metcalf there. More to come here on Seahawks Today in just a moment. But before we do that, we're offering a great deal just for viewers of Seahawks Today. You can get $20 off a T-shirt combo. You can see it's getting hot outside, and you got to have plenty of T-shirts, right? So go ahead and take advantage of the deal that we are offering now. Wear it just in time for football season as well. The only place you can get it is by going to chatsports.com/Seahawks shirts. That's chatsports.com/Seahawks shirts for $20 off this great combination there while supplies last. Kicker Jason Myers is coming off a disappointing 2021, and the rumor mill continues on Myers. If the Seahawks should cut Jason Myers, it could potentially save them around $4 million if they decided to move on. Now, here's the deal. When it comes to Jason Myers, the Seahawks aren't getting what they paid for when it comes to what he's been making relative to the performance on the field last year. You look at the numbers last season for Jason Myers. He was 31st in the league in touchbacks, only 31 total. He was also 31st in the league in percentage of field goals made at 74%. And then in point after attempts, he was 17th in the league at 93.6%. All of those numbers not great in the bottom half of the league among starting kickers, but then his salary put him 13th in the league at $3.86 million. So you can see the money just does not add up to the performance, relatively speaking. And there's a lot of kickers out there that could give you the same performance of Jason Myers for a much cheaper cost. So for me, this would be an easy call. I know that there's a lot of people that feel attached of some sorts to Jason Myers, and I understand that. But take a step back and take the emotional side of this. Take that out of the picture and think about this from a football standpoint. This totally makes sense just to go ahead and cut Jason Myers, save that money, and go get another kicker, as far as I'm concerned. What do you guys think? Should the Seahawks cut Jason Myers? Is this a move that should be made? Let me know in the comments section. Type C for cut, type K for keep if you think they should keep Jason Myers around. All right, let's go over some statistics, some rankings from Pro Football Focus, starting with the Seahawks linebackers group. Very favorable. PFF ranked the Seahawks linebackers 8th in the NFL. And when you look at this linebacking core, remember, this is 8th in the NFL, even with moving on from Bobby Wagner. You know, Jordan Brooks last year was terrific, 2nd in the NFL in tackles. But for me, what's going to be interesting with this group is what Uchenna and Nwosu does. To me, I really liked that signing of bringing him in from the Los Angeles Chargers, and I think that's what kind of elevates this group into the top 10. I agree with that ranking there. Here's what Michael Renner of Pro Football Focus had to say in regards to this linebacking core. This ranking may be a surprise after the Seahawks lost future Hall of Famer Bobby Wagner in free agency this offseason, but Wagner seemed to be on the downslope of his career. Jordan Brooks is an ascending star who will get more snaps this year. Cody Barton is another interesting player who will finally get a chance to start this season. And this ranking sounds about right to me. I want to show you some more numbers when it comes to PFF in regards to the two names that were mentioned, Jordan Brooks and Cody Barton. Let's start out with Jordan Brooks here. Their overall grade, 58.4. Run defense, solid, 74.3. Pass rush, 67.9. Coverage rating, not so hot, 43.4. So you can see those numbers will need to come up in regards to coverage. Will certainly need to be the big step up for Jordan Brooks there. But as now he leads this defense, you would expect that he should have better visuals when it comes to this defense anyway. Cody Barton, last year, numbers, not too shabby, 59.7 overall grade. Run defense and pass rush, similar numbers there, 67.9, pass rush 66.1. The drop-off is the coverage number, 55.4. So you can see the common theme when it comes to these Seahawk linebackers. Got to step up when it comes to coverage on that front. How would you rate the Seahawks linebacker group? If you had to scale it, 1 through 100, what would be the number that you would give this Seahawks linebacking core? Let me know in the comments section. Give a number 1 through 100. Anywhere out there, let me know. Put a number on it where you would rate this Seahawks linebackers group. Now, PFF wasn't too kind about the secondary for the Seahawks, ranking them 30th in the National Football League. Let's take a look at the defensive backs. And you can see Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams leading the way at those two safety spots, two guys that have been to Pro Bowls in the past. But it's the cornerback position where things are lacking for the Seahawks with Artie Burns, Sidney Jones, Justin Coleman. Trey Brown obviously is coming back, and a lot of high hopes for Kobe Bryant, the fourth-round selection for the Seahawks, of what he could potentially do to step up and maybe compete for one of those starting cornerback jobs before the season begins. Here's what Renner had to say about that secondary. The scariest-looking cornerback group on paper in the NFL, and not for opposing offenses. If there is any silver lining, it's that 2021 fourth-rounder Trey Brown outperformed expectations. It was in limited playing time. On 162 coverage snaps as a rookie, he allowed only 8 catches and 17 targets for 75 yards while playing exclusively on the outside. Now, Trey Brown, that's interesting. We have broke down this team in about every way possible, but I feel like we haven't talked about Trey Brown much. He's a name that I think is worth mentioning. And when it comes to Trey Brown, of what necessarily he brings to the table, I'm going to tell you more about his background in just a second. But real quick, while we bring him up, got to hear from you guys. Will Trey Brown have a breakout year in 2022? If so, type B for breakout. If you don't think that he's going to have a breakout year, type NB for no breakout. Let me know one way or the other how you feel on that front. All right, Trey Brown, here is the backstory on Trey Brown. Fourth-round selection in 2021 out of the University of Oklahoma. Started 3 games last year for the Seahawks and played in 5 total as a rookie. Have to think that we're going to see a lot more of Trey Brown in 2022. Coverage rating last year, according to PFF, about 61.1. So there you have it. That is the breakdown there with Trey Brown. So before we go, did I go the entire show without saying the words, I think I did? Producer Jack, did I do it? Okay, Producer Jack says I did it. I somehow managed to go the entire show without uttering the words of that Browns quarterback. Whenever we get an update on said Browns quarterback, you'll be the first to know about it here on Seahawks Today. Thanks for joining us.